Good evening, and welcome to Plaguespeare and Company. This is week 8 of our reading series, and our first non-Shakespeare reading tonight. Tonight we're pleased to bring you The Imaginary Invalid by French playwright Moliere. Enjoy.
Three and 2 make 5, and 5 make 10, and 10, 20. 3 and 2 make 5. Item. On the 24th, a mild enema, insinuative and emollient to lubricate, loosen, and stimulate the gentleman's bowels. That one thing I like about my apothecaries, Fleurant and Flora. The invoices are so extraordinarily polite. The gentleman's bowels. 30 sous! Well, politeness isn't everything. Let's be reasonable and not swindle the sick. 30 sous for an enema. With all due respect, in your last invoice you only charged me 20. Of course, when an apothecary says 20, it really means half of that. So there we are. 10 sous. Item. On the same day, a good detergent enema compounded according to prescription of a double potassium benzenate, phenylketonuria, and methylsilicone. It's an emulsifier to flush, irrigate, and thoroughly clean the gentleman's lower intestine. 30 sous! Ha! With your permission, 10. Item. The same evening, a heptic, soporific, somnoriferous julep to induce the gentleman to sleep. 35 sous. No complaint about that, it worked. Half of 35, 10, 15, 16, 17 and a half sous. Item. On the 25th, a sound, purgative, and stimulating concoction of fresh isopropyl citrate, choline chloride, and ethyl-hexanol, a preservative, as prescribed by Dr. PURGON, that's my doctor, to expel and evacuate the gentleman's bile. 80 sous. 80 sous, do you hear? Half of that is 30. Item. On the 26th, a powerful dose to dissipate the gentleman's wind. 20 sous. Good. We'll say 10. I'm glad to see you're reasonable. Item. A tonic compounded of 12 grains of fluorolepidolite resin, trichylethrenane, and syrup of phenylalanine. According to prescription, 100 sous. 100 sous! Oh, now, wait a minute. If you go on like this, nobody can afford to get sick anymore. I'll give you 80 sous, and we'll put down 40 sous. 3 and 2 make 5, and 5, 10, and 10 make 20. Total 1,264 and a half sous. That means this month I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prescriptions, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12 enemas. Last month I had 12 prescriptions and 20 enemas. No wonder I'm feeling worse this month. I must have a word with Dr. PURGON and get him to straighten this matter out. Come and take this all away, somebody. Oh, is anybody there? I'm always left alone, no matter how I instruct them. To the contrary, they always leave me alone. I can't hear that. This bell doesn't make enough noise. Ting-a-ling. No use. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. They're all deaf as posts. Toinette! Ting-a-ling-a-ling! Ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling! Oh, it's infuriating. Toinette! Ah, the devil take her, the wretched creature! How can they possibly leave a sick man alone? It's pitiful. Oh, my God. They've left me here to die.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
You good for nothing.
Oh, damn your impatience. The way you rush a person so. I've got to bump my head against the door.
Ah, you clumsy.
No.
Now listen to me.
No.
It's a whole hour since you left me. Be quiet so I can scream at you.
Well, I like that after I've just hurt myself.
You've made me shout myself hoarse.
And you've made me bump my head, so we're even.
What? Now you listen to me.
If you scream at me, I'll cry.
Abandoning me like that. You wretch, you... Stop! And I even have the pleasure of scolding you when I want to.
Scold all you want. I'm not stopping you.
You are stopping me. You interrupt me every time.
If you're going to have the pleasure of scolding me, I'm going to enjoy a good cry. That's fair, isn't it?
I just want... all right, I give in. Take this away. Did my enema work well today?
Your enema?
Yes, my enema. Did I pass much bile?
Nah, don't ask me. Let your doctor poke his nose into it. He gets paid for it.
Make sure that hot water is ready for my next one.
Oh, Dr. Purgoin and your apothecaries Fleurant and Fleurant are having a fine old time with your carcass. If it weren't for them, you wouldn't know you were sick. They're milking you like a cow. I'd like to ask them what's so wrong with you that you need all those medicines. If you were really sick, it would be another thing.
Hold your tongue. Who are you to question the doctor's orders? Send in my daughter Angelique to me. I have something to say to her.
Oh, here she is. She must have read your mind. At least I thought she was coming.
Where is she?
Close by, I think.
Angelique!
Angelique!
Oh, you said she was coming.
I thought she was coming. I heard someone coming down the hall. It sounded like...
Lying about people coming in the room. They don't come in.
I'm going to start crying again.
I'm going to start crying again, too.
Ah!
Ah!
Ah! Eh? Oh, she's still not here.
She here?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do if she doesn't come. How can we go on?
I mean, I suppose I could take some dictation and help you plan your schedule of appointments for today.
So,
who are you supposed to see?
I'm not sure.
Good morning, Father.
One of the doctors that was going to give me a bile transplant, and another one that was supposed to give me an enema.
Good morning, Father.
Oh, goodness!
Yes.
There you are, Angelique. You've come at just the right moment. I've been wanting to talk to you.
I'm all attention, Father.
Oh, wait a minute. Give me my stick. I'll be back in a minute. Ooh.
Hey, hurry, Master, hurry. Fleurant and Flora are certainly keeping us on the move.
Toinette.
Well,
Look at me.
I'm all right. I'm looking.
Toinette.
Well, what do you want?
To talk.
About what?
Can't you guess?
Well, I guess it's that young man of ours. For the last week, you've talked of nothing else. All right, well.
I admit I never tire of talking about him. Toinette, you don't blame me for feeling about him as I do.
Well, no, not at all.
Is it wrong of me to indulge these sweet fancies?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Would you have had me be indifferent to his protestations of love?
Oh, God forbid.
You do agree with me, don't you, that there was something quite providential, something like destiny in the way we first met that day in the theater?
Yes, yes.
Don't you think that the way he came to my rescue without knowing me was most chivalrous?
Yes.
And that it was very gallant the way he chastised that rude fellow who forced his attentions on me?
Yes.
He couldn't have behaved more generously, could he?
No.
And all done so charmingly.
Oh, yes.
Don't you think he's very nice looking, Toinette?
Oh, absolutely.
And that he has a most attractive way about him?
No, no doubt about it.
And that there's real nobility in everything he says and does?
For sure.
And that the way father and stepmother keep me under restraint and prevent any exchange of the tender affection he mutually inspires us is just too annoying.
Too annoying. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
But Toinette, do you think he really loves me as much as he says he does?
That's where you have to be careful. It's not easy to tell true love from pretend love. I have known some pretty good actors along those lines.
Whatever do you mean? Toinette, oh dear, how can he possibly speak the way he does and not be telling me the truth?
You'll soon find out, soon enough. He wrote to you yesterday that he had made up his mind to ask your father for your hand in marriage, and if he does ask, that's a pretty good way of telling if he's on the level. It'll be a good test.
Oh, Toinette, if he should deceive me, I'll never believe another man as long as I live.
Oh, hush, hush. Here comes your father.
Oh. Clean up in there. Well, now, my girl, I have some news for you. Something you were perhaps not expecting. I have received an offer of marriage for you. Oh, what's that? You're laughing. Aye, the word marriage tickles your fancy, does it? There seems to be nothing that arouses more giggling among young women. Nature, Mother Nature. From what I can see then, my girl, there's no need to ask if you want to be married.
It's my duty to obey you in every way, Father.
I'm very pleased to have such an obedient daughter. It's all settled then.
It's for me to do without question whatever you wish, Father.
Your stepmother wanted me to put you into a convent, and your little sister, Louison, as well. She's always been set on that idea.
Oh, that old cow has her reasons, I'm sure.
Quiet! She wouldn't agree to the marriage, but I won my point and have given my word.
Oh, Father, how grateful I am for your goodness.
I really must give you credit for that. It's the most sensible thing you've ever done in your life.
I haven't yet seen the young man, but they tell me I shall be pleased with him, and so will you.
You may be sure I shall, Father.
Why, have you seen him?
Well, now that your consent permits me to confess it, I won't hesitate to tell you that we've already made each other's acquaintance a week ago when I attended the theater. And you have been asked for my hand because we fell in love at first sight.
He didn't tell me that, but I am very pleased to hear it. They say he is a fine, handsome young man.
Yes, Father.
Graceful.
Oh, yes.
Likeable.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice looking.
Oh, very nice looking.
And comes from a good family.
Oh, unquestionably.
A most trustworthy young man.
Utterly trustworthy.
And he speaks good Greek and Latin.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's taking his degree in medicine these days, they say.
Is he?
Yes, didn't he tell you?
No, not really. No, who told you?
Well, Dr. Burgoyne.
Huh. Does Dr. Burgoyne know him?
What a question. Of course he knows him. It's his own nephew.
Cléante is Dr. Burgoyne's nephew?
Cléante? Who is Cléante? Oh, we're talking about the young man who wants to marry you.
Yes, of course.
Well, then he's Dr. Burgoyne's nephew, son of his brother-in-law, Dr. DIAFOIRUS. Your son's name is Thomas, not Cléante. And we arranged the marriage this morning. Dr. Burgoyne, Fleurant, Flora, and I. His father is bringing him over to see me today. What's the matter? You look flabbergasted.
Because I realize you have been talking about one person, Father, and I have been talking about someone else entirely.
What?
Master, I mean, with all the money you've got, why would you marry your daughter to a mere doctor? What a stupid scheme.
What's it got to do with you, you brazen hussy?
Calm down. Right away, you start calling me names. Can't we discuss this without losing our temper? Now, let's talk things over calmly, all right? Calm. Now, if you don't mind my asking, what are your reasons for such a marriage?
My reason is that in light of the sick and feeble state I'm in, I want to marry my daughter into the medical profession so that I can be assured of proper care for my illnesses and to have consultations and prescriptions whenever I want them and to have a supply of drugs within my own family.
Well, that's certainly a reason, and isn't it nice to be discussing it calmly? But, Master, cross your heart, are you really sick?
What do you mean, am I sick? You impudent slattern, am I sick?
All right then, you're sick. Let's not argue about it. You are sick, very sick. I agree with you. You're sicker than you think. That's settled. But your daughter is not sick, so there's no need to get a doctor for her.
It's for me, not her, that I'm marrying her to the doctor. A child in any proper feeling ought to be ecstatic to marry someone who will contribute to her father's wealth.
Master, let me offer you some friendly advice.
What advice?
Forget this marriage. Don't even think about it.
Why not?
Why not? Because your daughter will never consent.
She'll never consent?
No.
My daughter?
Your daughter. I'm telling you, she'll have nothing to do with Dr. Diaphorus or his son or Thomas or any of the whole pack of Diaphoruses.
I'm telling you, she will. This is the match. This match is more advantageous than you can think. Dr. Diaphorus' son is sole heir, and what's more, Dr. Burgoyne, the uncle, has neither wife nor children. He'll leave his entire estate to the heirs of this marriage, and Dr. Burgoyne is a man with 8,000 a year.
8,000 a year?
8,000 a year.
Well, he must have killed a lot of patients to have made all that money.
Yes! 8,000 a year is a pretty fair sum of money. That doesn't count his father's estate.
Well, that's all very well, Master, but I stick to my point.
What's that?
My advice between ourselves is to choose some other husband for her. She's not cut out to be Madame Diaphorus.
But I am determined she shall be.
Oh, come, don't say that.
How do you mean, don't say that?
Don't do it.
And why shouldn't I?
People will say you've lost your mind.
Let them say what they like. I'll tell you, she'll do what I promised.
Want to bet?
I'll damn well make her.
I'm telling you, she won't do it.
I'm telling you she will, or I'll put her in a convent.
Oh, you will?
I will.
Right.
What do you mean, ride?
You'll never put her in a convent.
I won't put her in a convent.
Not a chance.
Oh?
No.
Ha! That's a good one. I won't put my own daughter into a convent if I want to.
I tell you, you won't.
Huh. Who'll stop me?
You will.
I will.
You won't have the heart to do it.
Oh, yes, I will.
Oh, you're just kidding.
I am not just kidding.
You are. You know you've got a soft spot for her.
So what? That won't stop me.
Oh, yes. Mark my words. A few tears, her arms around your neck, a sweet little papa in a sweet little voice, and it'll all be over.
No, no, it won't.
Oh, yes, it will.
I tell you, I won't budge an inch.
Ah, fiddlesticks.
Don't you ever say fiddlesticks to me.
Oh, come on. I know better than that. You're much too soft-hearted.
I am not soft-hearted. I can be a perfect bastard when I want to be.
Oh, easy. Don't forget, you're a sick man.
I absolutely command her to prepare to marry the man I have chosen.
And I absolutely forbid her to do anything of the sort.
What's the world coming to? A servant talking to a master like that?
Well, when a master doesn't know what he's doing, a sensible servant has the right to set him straight.
I am going to murder you.
Oh, Father!
I am only protecting you from myself.
Only protecting you from yourself.
Come here, and I'll teach you how to talk to me like that.
No.
Angelique, help me.
Don't upset yourself.
I'm only
Don't upset yourself.
You're making a fool of yourself.
You wretch.
Father!
No, I'll never agree to this marriage.
You.
No, I won't let her marry your Thomas DIAFOIRUS. She'll listen to me rather than you.
Angelique, if you don't stop her, if you go into a convent.
If she does, I'll go into a convent.
Somebody help me. Oh, they're driving me crazy.
I'm coming. Oh, what's the matter, my dear?
Come and rescue me.
Oh, what is it then, my sweet boy?
My love.
Oh, my dearest.
They really upset me. I, who never gets upset, they really upset me.
Oh, dear, my poor little hubby. What is it, dear heart?
It's that horrible Toinette of yours. She's getting more impudent every day.
Oh, and now don't get excited.
She has infuriated me.
Oh, just relax. Take it easy.
She's been thwarting me in everything I wanted to do this hour past.
Oh, dear, take it easy.
She's done nothing but contradict me for the whole hour.
There, calm down.
She had the nerve to tell me I'm not sick.
The gall.
Oh, you know, dear heart, how sick I am.
Yes, darling, it's very wrong of her.
She'll be the death of me.
Oh, no, there. Oh.
She's the cause of all of the bile I'm secreting.
Oh, well, don't upset yourself again.
I've asked you to get rid of her. I don't know how many times.
Oh, good heavens, my dear. You know how hard it is to get good help nowadays, and there's no such thing as a servant without faults. We're forced to put up with their bad points now and then because of their good ones. She's clever, conscientious, and hardworking, and above all, she's loyal. And you know how we have to handle servants nowadays. I mean, with kid gloves.
My lollipop.
Hey, Toinette!
Madam?
Toinette, why have you been annoying my husband?
Madam? Dear me, I don't know what you mean. I always try to please the master in everything.
Liar.
Well, He was saying that he meant to marry his daughter to Dr. DiAFOIRUS' son. And I said that although it seemed a very good match for the girl, I thought he'd do better to put her into a convent.
Oh, well, there's nothing much wrong in that. I think she's quite right.
Ah, don't you believe her? She said all kind of rude things to me.
Oh, well, pull yourself together, dear. I believe you, my dear. I do. Toinette, if you ever annoy my husband again, I'll dismiss you. There. Now, give me his robe and his pillows, and I'll make him comfortable in his chair. You are every which way. Come on. Let's see. Let's pull your nightcap over your ears. And there's nothing like letting the air in at your ears for giving you a cold.
Oh, my dear, I am grateful to you for taking such care of me.
Oh, yeah. Let me slip this under you. We'll put this one in to support you there. And, oh, there's this one at the other side. And another one here at your back. And this one to keep your head up.
Oh, and this one here to keep the flies off.
Oh, you wretch! She tried to smother me.
Oh, wait, there. What is it now?
Oh, I can't bear it any longer.
Why get so excited? I mean, she means no harm.
My dear, she's completely upset me. It'll take a dozen enemas to set me straight.
There, my sweet. Do calm yourself.
Ah, my dear, you are my only consolation.
Oh, my poor baby.
I want to try to show you my gratitude for the love you bear me, my dear. I'm intending, as I was telling you, to make my will.
Oh, please, let's not talk about that, darling. I can't bear the idea. When a woman loves her husband as I do, she's in no condition to think of that sort of thing. The very word will makes me shudder.
Oh, I told you to talk to your notary about it.
Oh, yes, he's here. Oh, Pookie, it's you. All I wants to do is kiss you.
Oh, come in, Monsieur Bonnefoy. Come in, have a seat, please. My wife tells me, monsieur, that you were a very trustworthy man, and so I asked her to talk with you about this will I intend to make.
Oh, dear, I just can't talk about such things.
Yes, she has explained your intentions, monsieur, and what you have in mind to do for her, but I feel it is my profound duty to advise you that you can't leave your wife anything in your will.
What?
What?
It's contrary to customary law. If you lived in a district where statutory law prevailed, you could do it. But here in Paris and the districts where customary law is in force, oh, it's out of the question. Any such provision would be de facto null and void. The only provision man and wife can make for each other is by mutual gift during their lifetime. Moreover, there must be no children, whether of that marriage or a previous one of either party at the time of the decease of the testator.
Well, that's a silly custom. A man can't leave money to his wife who loves him and cares for him. I'd like a second opinion.
It's no good going to a lawyer. They always take a strict view of these things. They consider it a great crime to dispose of anything to the prejudice of a law. Then they set up roadblocks, but never bother to learn the detours around one's conscience. But there are other people you can consult who are more accommodating and have means of quietly getting around the law and adjusting things which aren't really permitted. People who know how to these little difficulties and find means of evading the requirements of customary law by indirect means. My card. Where should we be without such people. If there was some kind of flexibility, we'd get nowhere.
Oh, my wife had, of course, told me, of course, what a very clever and reliable man you are. Now, how can I manage to give my estate to her and see that my children get nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can select some intimate friend of your wife on the quiet and make a will formally bequeathing it all to him or her, and this friend can hand it over later. Or you can contract a number of debts to sundry creditors. These creditors would then allow their names to be used on your wife's behalf and put it into her hands a declaration that they handed the cash in question over to her as a gift. In simpler words, they'd launder the money. Or you can, in your lifetime, hand over to her your ready cash and such collectible bills as you have on hand.
Heavens, heavens, don't bother your head with all this. If anything happens to you, my precious, I won't want to go on living.
Oh, my dearest.
Yes, my dear. If I was so unfortunate as to lose you.
Oh, my dear wife.
Life would be worth nothing to me anymore.
Oh.
I should follow you to the grave to prove how dearly I loved you.
Oh, dearest, you're breaking my heart.
Oh, there's no need for tears. We haven't got to that stage yet.
Monsieur, you don't know what it's like to have a husband whom you love as dearly as I love mine.
My only regret, my dear, is that if I were to die, I have no child by you. Dr. Burgoyne promised me that he could enable me to have one.
There's still time for that.
I must make my will, my love, in the way the gentleman says. But as a precaution, I'm going to hand over to you 20,000 francs in gold, which I keep in my strong box, and 2 bills, which are due to me.
Oh, no. I want none of it. How much did you say you had in there?
20,000 francs, my love.
Oh, but please don't talk to me about money. What was the amount of the bills?
One is 4,000 and the other 6,000 francs.
Well, all the money in the world is nothing to me compared with yours, my love.
Do you wish us to proceed to drawing up the will?
Yes, monsieur, but we'll be better in my study. I have some important papers there. Help me along, my love.
Oh, come on, poor boy.
Oh.
There they are with the notary, and I heard the word will mentioned. Your stepmother isn't to be caught napping. I suspect she's pushing your father into some sort of conspiracy against your interests.
Let him do what he likes with his money, so long as he doesn't dispose of my heart. You heard of the dreadful plans he has for me. Oh, don't desert me now, Toinette. I beg you.
Shush. Leave it to me. I'll do everything I can for you. But if I'm to help you effectively, I must change my tactics. I'm going to have to conceal my concern for you and pretend to go along with the wishes of your father and your stepmother.
Oh, whatever you think is best. And do try to let Cléante know about the marriage they have arranged.
I already have.
Toinette!
She's calling. Psst, rely on me.
Oh, Toinette! Oh, he wants you. Here, take this.
Excuse me. I was looking for Toinette.
Hello. Toinette,
Adam,
he wants yas.
what do you want?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, it's you. Oh, Monsieur Cléante. What a surprise. What have you come here for?
I've come to know my destiny, to speak with the lovely Angélique, to learn her feelings and ask her intentions concerning this dreadful marriage I had just heard about.
Well, that's all very well and good, but you won't get that chance.
Huh?
She's being watched. They won't allow her to talk to anyone.
Yes, but I'm not here as Cléante, her lover, but as the friend of her music master who has authorized me to say that he sent me here in his place.
2, 3, 4.
Here's her father. Get in here and let me tell him that you are here.
Dr. Purgoin said I was to walk up and down the room 12 times every morning, but I forgot to ask him whether he meant crosswise or lengthwise.
Tough one. Master, there's a gentleman here.
Don't shout! Your voice slices right through my head. Don't you know? You must speak softly to invalids.
I just wanted to tell you.
Shh! Do you mind?
Master.
Quietly, please. Eh? What did you say? Oh my God, I'm going deaf. What did you say?
Man here wanting to speak to you.
Let him in.
Oh.
Monsieur?
Not
so loud. Your voice will go right through the master's head.
Oh, I'm sorry, monsieur.
2, 3, 4.
Sir, I'm delighted to find you up and about and see that you're feeling better.
What do you mean feeling better? It's not true.
He's still very poorly.
Well, I heard that the gentleman was better, and I thought he looked well.
Well, how do you mean he looked well? Oh, the master's very ill indeed. He's always sick, and people who say he's feeling better don't know what they're talking about. He's never been as bad as he is now.
She's quite right.
Hop, 2, 3, 4. Of course, he can get about, sleep, eat, and drink like anybody else, but that doesn't mean he isn't gravely ill.
That's true.
I'm very sorry to hear it, sir. And now that I look more closely, I see you are truly sick. I have come on behalf of your daughter's music master.
Music master?
He's had to go out of town for a few days, and as I'm a very close friend of his, he has sent me in his place to continue the young lady's lessons, lest the interruption might make her forget what she has already been taught.
Oh, kind of a substitute teacher, huh?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Very well. Call Angelique.
Oh, I think, Master, it would be better if I took the gentleman to her room.
No, bring her here.
Well, he can't teach her properly except in private.
Oh, yes, he can.
Master, it's bound to deafen you, and you mustn't have anything to upset you in the state you're in.
Oh, it will not. I'm very fond of music, and I'll be very pleased to. Here she is. And now, get out and see if my wife is around. Your music master is out of town, and here is someone he has sent in his place to give you your lesson.
Heavens!
What is it? Why are you surprised?
It's...
What? Why are you so upset?
Such a strange coincidence, Father.
What do you mean?
I dreamed last night that I was in the most dreadful predicament when I met someone like this gentleman and asked him to help me, and he did. He managed to get me out of my difficulty. I was so surprised he'd come in here and meet unexpectedly the very person who has been in my thoughts all night.
I'm very happy to occupy your thoughts, waking or dreaming, and I'd count myself most fortunate should you be in any trouble. if you thought me worthy of helping you. There is nothing I wouldn't do.
Toinette, the door! That'll be the doctor and his son. Oh, don't go, monsieur. The fact is, I'm in the process of getting my daughter married. And the young man in question has just arrived. She's never seen him.
You do me too much honor, sir, in wishing me to witness such a momentous occasion.
Oh, he's the son of a very brilliant doctor. The marriage is to take place in a few days' time.
Indeed.
Pass the word to his music teacher so that he can be invited to the wedding.
I won't fail to do so.
I hope you will be able to come too.
You are too kind.
Here are Dr. DiAFOIRUS, father and son, come to see you. Upon my word, master, I take back every word I said earlier. You're right. You're going to have a fine son-in-law. Such a good-looking boy and so articulate. What, he hasn't said more than a couple of words, but I'm very impressed with him. And your daughter will be charmed. Charmed, I'm sure. Come, make room. Here they come.
Sir, Dr. Purgoin has forbidden me to uncover my head, but being a member of the medical profession, I'm sure you'll understand why.
The purpose of our visits is always to bring relief to our patients and never to incommode them. We
Sir,
have come, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. With the
My
greatest
son
of
Thomas
pleasure,
and I
the honor you do.
indicate to you, I'm sorry,
I
our
wish I
pleasure
could.
in
You have come
the kindness you have shown
and
in
assure me,
receiving us
but you know
to the honor, monsieur,
that a poor
of your alliance,
who has no
and to assure you
alternative but to tell
that
you
in
here
anything
now
to do with our profession,
that
as indeed in all other matters,
of showing you
we are always ready, monsieur,
that I am at your
of service. Come along, Thomas, come forward, make your compliments.
Do I begin with the father?
Yeah, the father.
Monsieur, in you, I come to salute, acknowledge, cherish, and revere a second father, but a second father to whom make bold to say, I am more indebted than to my original one. He begot me, but you have chosen me. He had to take me, but you have accepted me voluntarily. My kinship with him is psychical, but I am a product of his body. With you, I am a product of your will and intention. And so, inasmuch as the faculties of the mind surpass the faculties corporal, so am I indebted to you for, and in like measure hold precious, this future affirmation, for which I come today to offer you in advance my humble and respectful thanks.
Well, let's hear it for higher education, huh?
Was that all right, Father?
Optim.
Come, make your greetings to the gentleman.
Do I have to kiss her?
Yes.
Madam, how aptly has heaven bestowed on you the title of mother, since...
That's not my wife, that's my daughter.
Then where is your wife?
She's coming.
Do I wait till she comes, father?
Pay your compliments to the young lady in the meantime.
Madam.
Roesler.
Roesler.
Even as the...
Even as the statue of...
Memnon?
Memnon used to give forth a melodious sound at the moment when the sun's rays first illumined it. So do I find myself emanated by emotion when the sun of your beauty appears.
Charming.
What?
Charming.
Charming.
Even as?
Even as naturalists observe that the flower named heliotrope. Heliotrope turns ever to the star of day, so will my heart henceforward and forever turn towards those resplendent luminaries, luminaries, your lovely eyes as to its own pole star. Permit me then, madam,
Roesler,
to offer this very day upon the altar of your charms a heart which seeks no other glory than that of being ever your obedient, humble, and devoted servant and spouse.
Wow, it only goes to show
what
a college degree can do for a man.
What do you say to that?
If he's as good a doctor as he is an orator, his medical practice should be astounding.
You see, monsieur, how everyone admires your son. You are very fortunate to have a boy like that.
It's not because I'm his father, but I confess I have good reason to be proud of him.
Oh, yes.
All who know him speak of him as a most blameless young man. Of course, he has never shown the lively imagination or the sparkling wit one observes in some young men. But I have always taken to bode well for his judgment, a quality necessary for the practice of our art.
I see.
In childhood, he was never what one would call lively or pert.
Oh, really?
He hardly spoke and never indulged in childish games. We had the greatest difficulty in teaching him to read. He was 9 before he ever knew the alphabet. Never mind, I used to say to myself, the tardy tree oft yields the better fruit.
Fruit?
One writes less easily on marble than on sand, but what is written there endures, and the sluggishness of imagination is the mark of sound judgment yet to come.
Right.
When I sent him to college, he made hard going for him.
Oh.
But at length, by sheer stubbornness, he succeeded in qualifying.
Good boy.
And now, 2 years after receiving his bachelor's degree, I can say without boasting, no candidate has made more noise than he in the disputations of our faculty.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
He has gained for himself quite a formidable reputation, and there's no proposition put forward, but he'll argue to the last breath to the contrary. Firm in dispute, in defense of a principle, he never changes his opinion.
No kidding.
But What pleases me most of all about him, and herein he follows my own example, is his unyielding attachment to the opinions of the ancient authorities, and his refusal to credit or even listen to the arguments in favor of such alleged discoveries of our own times as the circulation of the blood and other such nonsense.
Oh, I have prepared a thesis refuting those who believe the circulation of blood, which, with your permission, monsieur, I venture to offer to the young lady as the first fruits of my genius.
Charming.
No use to me, monsieur. I know nothing of such matters.
Oh, give it to me. It's got pictures in the margin. It'll be nice to have in the bedroom.
With your permission, monsieur, I would invite her to come along one day and enjoy the pleasure of watching a woman dissected.
What fun!
To continue, so far as the qualities necessary for marriage and proliferation are concerned, I assure you that by our medical standards, he's everything that could be desired. He possesses in a laudable degree the equipment needed for procreating many healthy offspring.
Quick, chairs for everyone. Angelique, you sit here. Ahem. Don't you intend to promote your son's career at court, monsieur, and procure him a post as physician there?
To be quite frank, I've never found the practice of our profession among people of great consequence very attractive. My experience has been that it's better for us to practice amongst the general public. They are less exacting. You don't have to answer to anybody for your actions, and provided you keep to the beaten path of professional practice, you don't need to worry about the results. The trouble about people of consequence is that when they're ill, they insist on being cured.
Imagine expecting you fellows to cure them. Well, it's their job to get.
That's quite true. We've no obligation beyond giving people the orthodox treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Music master, how about a little music for the company?
I'm at your service, sir. It occurs to me that it might be entertaining if the young lady and I were to sing a passage from a little opera composed just recently. Here is your part.
Mine?
Please don't say no. Let me explain the passage. Let me explain to you the passage we have to sing. I have no singing voice myself, but it will be sufficient that I make myself heard. Perhaps you'll be good enough to make allowances for me in view of the fact that I must encourage the lady to sing.
Are the words interesting?
It is really a little extemporized opera. What you're going to hear is no more than rhythmical prose or a sort of a free verse such as their feelings and the occasion might suggest to two people conversing together and speaking impromptu.
Very good. Let's hear it.
The substance of the scene is this. A certain shepherd was watching a play one day. It had scarcely begun when his attention was attracted by a nearby disturbance. During turning, he saw a boorish fellow behaving rudely. He immediately chastised the bully for his insolence, approached the shepherdess, and beheld a young lady with the loveliest eyes he had ever seen. Alas, he said to himself, how could anyone offend so lovely a creature? Every glance went straight to his heart like the shaft of fire. He paid no more attention to the play except to find it all too short, since the final curtain must separate him from his lovely shepherdess. From the moment he saw her, he was utterly and completely in love as ever a man could be. After the play, he began to suffer the pangs of separation. He tried by every means to catch another glimpse of her, but in vain. His shepherdess was kept under too close a restraint. Such was his passion that he was determined to ask for the hand. But at that very moment, he learned that her father had arranged to marry her to another. Behold him, stricken with a deadly sorrow. The idea of his beloved in the arms of another is more than he can bear. With the desperation of passion, he finds means to enter her house, to learn her feelings, and to hear his fate from her own lips. There, he finds all is as he feared. He meets the unworthy rival. He beholds him, ridiculous, but triumphant. The sight fills him with rage. But which he can barely restrain. He exchanges despairing glances with the object of his love, but her father's presence prevents her from speaking, save with her eyes. At last, casting aside all restraint, in a transport of love, he sings as follows. Fairest Phyllis, this pain I cannot bear. Oh, break this cruel silence. Speak to me from your heart. Reveal to me my destiny. Am I to live or die?
Look at me, tears, melancholy and sad Phyllis. Here I am forced to wed a stupid, smelly toad. I look at him and cry. I look at you and sigh.
Well, I never knew my daughter could sight read.
Alas, fairest Phyllis, happy Tircis, to hear these words so fair. Yes, my heart you ensnare. Do I dare hope to share a love so rare?
My heart cannot hide, it cannot be denied that yes, it is you I love.
Oh, blessed words, oh, blessed refrain, yet my doubts still remain. Repeat them once again, repeat them once again.
Yes, it is you I
love. Again, Phyllis, again. 100 times again, 1,000 times again.
Yes, I love you. Yes, I love you. Yes, Tircis.
I love you. But Phyllis, if you'll pardon one tiny observation, there is but one thing that spoils my bliss, and it is this. It is this.
Oh, his presence to me is fate worse than death. Fate worse than death. Worse than death. His presence is to me.
But your father has said that you must wed.
I die. Die than consent to such a fate. I'd rather die than consent to such a fate.
And what does the father say to all of this?
He says nothing.
He must be a fool to let all that go on and say nothing.
Oh,
Phyllis! We've had enough. Plays like this set a very bad example. That shepherd, Tircis, is a rogue, and the shepherdess is an impudent trollop to talk like that in front of her father. Let me see the words. Where are they? Where are the words you've been singing? There's nothing here but the notes.
Didn't you hear, monsieur, that they've recently invented a method of writing notes and words all in one?
Well, I never.
I'm your humble servant, monsieur. Good day. We could very well have done without your ridiculous opera.
Well, I had hoped that you would find it amusing.
There's nothing amusing in such silly nonsense. Here is my wife. My love, this is Dr. Diaphorus's son.
Madam, how aptly has heaven bestowed on you the title of mother, because in your visage we behold.
I am delighted to have come in time to have the honor of meeting yous, monsieur.
Because in your visage we behold. Madam, you've interrupted me in the middle of my sentence, and now I can't remember.
Keep it for another time, Thomas.
I wish you had been here a while ago, my dear.
Oh, madam, what you've missed by not being here for the part about a second father and the statue of Memnon and the flower called heliotrope. It was just...
Now come along, my girl. Give the gentleman your hand and plight him your troth as your husband to be.
Mother.
What's father? What do you mean by that?
I beseech you not to hurry things. At least give us time to get to know one another and set arise and see arise between us the mutual inclination which is so essential to a perfect union.
As far as I'm concerned, Oiselle, the inclination is there already, and I have no need to wait any longer.
You may be quick to act, monsieur, but I am not. And I must confess your virtues haven't made all impression on me.
Oh, well, there'll be plenty of time for that when you're married.
Father, please give me time. Marriage is a bond which shouldn't be compulsory. If the gentleman is an honorable man, he will not wish to take a wife who is forced to marry him.
Maybe she has someone else in mind?
If I had, madam, it would be one such as reason and modesty would approve.
Well, this certainly puts me in a nice position.
If I were you, I wouldn't insist on her marrying, but I know what I would do.
I know what you mean, madam, but it may be your hopes of incarcerating me in a convent won't come to pass.
It's a sorry state of affairs when clever, well-brought-up daughters like you scorn their father's wishes. Things were different in my day.
There are limits to a daughter's duty, madam.
Now, just a minute.
You mean that your mind's set on marriage, but you want to choose a husband to suit your own fancy.
If my father won't allow me the husband of my choice, I beg him at least not to insist on me marrying one I could never love.
I am very sorry about all this, gentlemen.
For my own part, since I intend to marry for love, and I regard it as a lifelong bond, I must, I assure you, approach it with caution. There are women for whom a husband is no more than a means of escape from the control of their parents and obtaining freedom to do whatever they wish. There are others, madam, for whom marriage is merely a matter of material advantage. They marry with an eye to a settlement and becoming rich by the death of their husbands, running through successions of them, collecting their wealth without the slightest scruple of conscience. Of course, such women are very particular, and they care very little about who their husband may be.
Now listen.
You are very eloquent today. May I ask you what you mean by all of this?
Just what I said, madam.
Well, your impudence is becoming unbearable, my dear.
No doubt you would like to provoke me to rudeness, but I warn you, I do not intend to give you that satisfaction.
I have never heard such impertinence.
No, madam, you can say what you like, but it will do you no good.
You're really laughable with your absurd pride and presumption.
It is no use, madam. You cannot provoke me. I shall spare you the temptation by taking my leave.
Listen, either you marry this gentleman within 4 days or you go to a convent. One or the other. Make your choice. Don't worry, I'll bring her around.
I'm sorry, but I must go too, my dear. There's business in town I have to attend to. I'll be back again shortly.
Go along, my love, and call and see the notary so that he gets on with you know what.
Oh, I will. Goodbye, dear heart.
Goodbye, my darling. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, how that woman loves me. It's incredible.
Oh, we must also take our leave of you, monsieur.
Oh, please, before you go, would you mind giving me a brief checkup?
Thomas, take the gentleman's other hand to show that you can take a pulse properly. Quid dices? What sayest thou?
Pico, I say that, that this is the pulse of a man who is not well at all.
Good.
Steady-ish, not to say steady.
Very good.
Falling off a little now.
Bene.
Even a little erratic.
Optim.
Indicative of a disturbed state of the splenic parenchyma. That is the spleen.
Excellent.
Excellent.
No, Dr. Burgoyne says it's my liver that's wrong.
Oh, yes. When one talks of parenchyma, it covers both because of the close accord between them by the way of the vas breve of the pylorus and the meatus colodocici of the duodenum, the bile ducts. No doubt he tells you to eat plenty of fried beef.
No, only boiled.
Oh, yes, fried or boiled, same thing. He's very wise, Dr. Purgon. You couldn't be in better hands.
Tell me, monsieur, how many grains of salt should one take on an egg?
6, 8, 10, and so on. Always even numbers, just as with the pills, you always take the odd numbers. Oh, now, monsieur, Thomas, your very humble, obedient servant.
Until we meet again, monsieur.
Darling, I've stopped in on my way out to warn you to keep your eye on something. As I was passing Angelique's door, I saw a young man in her room.
What? A young man with my daughter?
Yeah, he slipped away as soon as he saw me. Your other daughter, precious little Louison, was with him. I suspect she'll be able to tell you all about it.
Send Louison to me.
Well, Louison, your father wants you.
Oh, the brazen hussy. No wonder she was so obstinate.
What do you want, Daddy? Stepmother said you wanted to see me.
Yes, come here. Come closer. Turn this way. Look up. Look at me. Well?
Well, what, Daddy?
Now?
What is it?
Have you nothing to tell me?
If you like, I'll tell you the fable of the fox and the crow.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What is it, then?
Ah, you cunning little devil. You know well enough what I want.
Excuse me, Daddy, I don't.
Is this how you obey me?
What do you mean?
Didn't I ask you to come and tell me everything you see at once?
Yes, Daddy.
And I suppose you see nothing today?
No, Daddy.
Nothing?
No, Daddy.
Sure?
Sure.
Then I shall have to make you see something.
Oh, fiddlesticks!
Don't you ever say fiddlesticks to me. You didn't tell me you saw a young man in your sister's room.
Oh, Daddy!
This will teach you to tell lies.
Oh, no, forgive me, Daddy. Sister told me I wasn't to tell you, but I will tell you everything.
You must be whipped first for fibbing.
No, Daddy, forgive me.
No.
Dear Daddy.
Oh, yes, I got you.
Don't whip me.
I can't find LOUISON.
Oh, for God's sake, don't beat me, Daddy.
It's enough.
Oh, Daddy, you've hurt me. Stop. I'm dying.
Hey, what is it? LOUISON? Oh, good God. What have I done? LOUISON. My child, oh, what a wretched father, oh, a cursed stick. Plague on all sticks. Oh, my poor child. Dead. Oh.
Daddy? I'm not quite dead.
You little scamp. Well, I forgive you this time, provided you tell me the whole truth.
You won't tell my sister I told you?
No.
A man came in her room, Daddy, while I was there. Well, I asked him what he wanted, and he said he was her music master.
So that's the game. And then?
And then sister came.
Go on.
She said, go, for heaven's sake, go. You'll drive me to despair.
Yes?
He did not want to go.
And what did he say to her?
All sorts of things.
What?
He told her how he loved her dearly and that she was the most beautiful girl in the whole world.
And after that?
After that, he went down on his knees.
And then?
Then he kissed her hand.
And then?
And then stepmother came into the door and he ran away.
And is there nothing else?
No, Daddy.
But my little finger is whispering something. Shh. Eh? Ah, yes. Oh, my little finger says there's something else you saw, something you haven't told me.
Then your little finger's a fibber.
Be careful.
No, Daddy. Don't you believe it? It's a fibber. I swear.
Children aren't children anymore. What troubles I have. I haven't even to think about my illness. I'm just done for.
Master, your brother's here.
Now, brother, how are you?
What do you mean, how am I? I'm bad. Very bad.
Bad? In what way?
You wouldn't believe how weak I am.
Oh, that's a pity.
Hardly strength enough to speak.
Well, then save your voice and listen. I came here with an offer of marriage for my niece Angelique.
Don't talk to me about that ungrateful strumpet. She's a brazen-faced, impertinent slattern, and I'll have her in a convent before the day is up.
No, now that's better. You sound much stronger already, you see? My visit's doing you a world of good. Well, we can talk about that later. First, let's have a little chat.
Wait a minute, brother. I'll be right back.
Oh, Master, you're forgetting you can't walk without your stick.
You're right.
Oh, sir, poor Mademoiselle. There you go. Poor Mademoiselle Angelique really needs your help.
Yes?
We must stop this stupid marriage he's so set on.
Oh, I will do anything I can. I don't like this any more than you.
You know, I've been thinking.
About what?
Well, it might be a good plan to produce a doctor of our own.
What do you mean?
Well, a little free enterprise. I'll play a doctor myself. It's a silly idea, but it might work. Leave it to me. You do what you can on your side. Oh, Here he comes.
Here, take care of this.
Oh, God.
Brother, I'd like to talk to you about...
What?
Will you promise me not to excite yourself during our conversation?
All right.
And you'll answer my questions without hysterics.
Agreed.
And you'll treat our discussion in a spirit of calm detachment.
Good God, yes, what a preamble.
All right now. Why is it, brother, with all the money you have, and therefore all the son-in-laws that you could choose from, why do you insist on marrying your daughter to a doctor's son whom she doesn't love?
Brother, I want to have a son-in-law who will be of some value to me.
But that's no concern of your daughter's. And moreover, there's someone available who would suit her much better.
Yes, but this one happens to suit me better.
But is this husband intended for her or for you?
Oh, for both, brother. I want to have in the family people who will be useful to me.
How can you possibly continue to be so infatuated with doctors and apothecaries? Are you determined to be ill in despite all that your friends and nature itself can do for you?
What do you mean by that, brother?
What I mean is that I've never seen anyone who's less sick than you are. Men like you usually die of their remedies, not their diseases. One couldn't wish for a better constitution than yours. You've even survived all the medicines those quacks given you to swallow.
But you don't realize, brother, that's what keeps me going. Dr. Burgoyne says that if he stopped attending me for 3 days, I'd be a dead duck.
Dr. Burgoyne will be attending you into the next world if you aren't careful.
Yet you must agree that doctors know more about such things than other people.
I find that the ones who claim to know everything, in fact, understand very little. Your doctors know just what I've told you, which doesn't amount to much when it comes to curing genuinely sick people. All that their art consists of is high-sounding gibberish and specious babbling, which offers words instead of causes and promises instead of results.
All the same, brother, there are people as wise and clever as you, and they call the doctor the moment they think they're ill.
That's evidence of human frailty, not proof of the doctor's skill. And the richest quacks are always well up on the fashionable ailments, the popular pills, the latest diets. Fashionable frauds.
They are not frauds.
Your Dr. Burgoyne, for example, makes no bones about it. He represents a victory of fashion over fact.
Fact is, brother, you've never liked him.
A better doctor would tell you you're not sick.
I am as weak as a baby.
There I may agree with you.
A ridiculous nonsense. Toinette, the door!
Very well, brother. Let's change the subject.
Good.
My niece, your daughter.
What about her, the unframed?
Let me beg you not to put her in a convent just because she has shown some slight opposition to your
Slight opposition?
Marriage is a choice made for a whole lifetime, and her entire happiness depends on it. Can't you make some concession to your daughter's wishes?
The great apothecaries Fleurant and Flora.
Monsieur!
Monsieur!
Fleurant, Flora, my apothecaries. Well, brother, to end this pointless discussion, I am the master of my own house and intend to do as I see fit.
I don't doubt that in the goodness of her heart, your wife would be delighted to see both your daughters become nuns.
Now we're coming to it. My poor wife's brought into it again. She's the cause of all this trouble and everyone's against her.
All right, we'll leave your wife out of it.
Well, brother, you'll have to excuse me.
What are you doing?
I'm going to take my enema.
You are mad. Can't you manage 5 minutes without an enema? Send them away.
What?
What? What?
Put it off to another time.
What do you mean by interfering with the doctor's order?
The doctor's orders.
And preventing the gentleman from taking my enema.
From taking my enema.
go away. It's evident you aren't used to addressing yourself to people's faces.
You are wasting my time.
Wasting my time.
Surely you're paid for it.
That is not the point.
Not the point.
I should have thought it was.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I ask you, once and for all, brother, is there no curing of you of this disease of being doctored? Go away!
Oh, outrageous!
Outrageous.
You have no right making fun of medicine.
Fun of medicine. Fleurant, Flora, I am sorry. If you would come back this evening or tomorrow morning.
I have never heard of such a thing.
Heard of such a thing.
I'll have you know, I came here on specific instructions from Dr. Burgoyne.
Dr. Burgoyne.
And I shall tell Dr. Burgoyne.
Dr. Burgoyne.
How I have been prevented from carrying out his orders.
Carrying out his orders.
And performing my professional
duties.
Is not going to take this very well.
Take this very well.
You shall see.
You shall see. This is going to be very unfortunate, brother.
Unfortunate. To miss one of Dr. Burgoyne's enemas. You're going to be the victim of their remedies all the rest of your life.
My God, you talk like a man who is well, but you'd change your tune if you were in my position. It's easy to talk against medicine when you're in good health.
What exactly is the matter with you?
Leave me alone.
But I want to know.
Please, stop.
Master. Dr. Burgoyne is here.
Oh my God.
Here's Dr. Burgoyne.
Fine news! I've been hearing downstairs. I hear that you're making a mockery of my orders and refusing to take the remedies I prescribed.
It's not.
The audacity! A patient in rebellion against his doctor!
Shocking.
An enema, which I had designed and prepared with mine own hands.
It wasn't me.
Compounded and concocted according to my own formula.
Oh, he did wrong.
An enema which would have had wonderful effects on the bowels.
He's my brother.
To reject it with contempt.
He did it.
Outrageous behavior.
True.
A crime against medicine.
He's the cause.
Flat treason against the whole medical faculty. No punishment would be too severe.
Right.
I declare I'll have nothing more to do with you.
It was my brother.
I renounce all connection with you, and to show that I'm entirely finished with you, here's the marriage settlement I made in favor of my nephew, Thomas.
Cause all the trouble.
I had to despise my enema.
I'll take it.
Just when I was going to cure you.
Oh, he doesn't deserve to be cured.
I was about to give your system a thorough clean out and completely detoxicate you.
Oh, brother!
Another dozen doses and I should have cleansed out the trouble.
Oh, he's not worth your attention.
But since you don't choose to be cured at my hands,
it's not my fault.
Since you failed in the obedience a patient owes to his doctor.
He deserves all he gets.
Since you've dared to rebel against my prescription.
I never did.
I declare that I abandon you to your evil constitution, to the disorder of your bowels, the corruption of your blood, the bitterness of your own gall, and the feculence of your humors.
Done right.
Oh my God.
I foretell that within 3 days you'll be in an incurable position.
Oh, mercy.
You'll fall into a state of bradypepsia.
Dr. Burgoyne!
From bradypepsia into dyspepsia.
Dr. Burgoyne!
From dyspepsia into apepsia.
Dr. Burgoyne!
From apepsia into diarrhea.
Dr. Burgoyne!
From diarrhea into dysentery.
Dr. Burgoyne!
From dysentery into dropsy.
Dr. Burgoyne!
And from dropsy into autopsy. And remember this, your own folly will have brought you to this.
Oh my God. I am a dead man. Brother, you've ruined me. I am finished. I'll die in 3 days without his help.
You're crazy. Pull yourself together.
You heard his awful maladies he threatened me with.
What a fool you are.
He said I should be in incurable condition within 3 days.
And what does it matter what he said? Anyone would think to hear you that he held your life in his hands and had absolute authority to prolong your days or cut them short as he wished. Brother, why can't you give up this addiction?
Because I'm afraid.
Understand that the living principle is within you, and that Dr. Burgoyne's wrath is as powerless to kill you as his medicines are to keep you alive. Here's your chance to be free. Take it. You can easily get another doctor.
Oh, brother, Dr. Burgoyne understands my condition and knows just how I ought to be treated.
Master, there's another doctor here to see you.
What doctor?
Doctor of medicine.
I asked who he was.
Well, I don't know who he is, but you know he and I are as alike as 2 peas in a pod. If I weren't sure my mother was an honest woman, I'd say he was a younger brother she'd produced since my father died.
Show him in.
Oh, amazing luck, right? One doctor leaves you, another one turns up.
I'm afraid you have let me in for a lot of trouble with Dr. Burgoyne.
Going back to that again, are we? What are you worried about?
What I'm worried about is all these pepsias I've never heard of before.
Permit me to call upon you, monsieur, and offer my humble services for any bloodlettings and purgings you may be needing.
I am really obliged to you, Doctor. Doesn't he look exactly like Toinette?
Excuse me a moment, monsieur. I forgot to give instructions to my servant. I'll be right back.
My goodness, he's a spitting image of Toinette. Wouldn't you swear it was Toinette?
There's certainly a remarkable resemblance, but I've come across similar cases before, and one often reads about such freaks of nature.
I am astonished.
Were you wanting something, Master?
What's that?
Weren't you calling me?
Me? No.
Oh, my ears must have been burning.
Stay a minute and see how like you this doctor looks.
Oh, not me. I'm too busy downstairs.
I hadn't seen both of them. I had thought it was one and the same person.
I've read about some surprising cases of resemblance, cases where everybody was deceived.
I must say, I am astonished.
I hope you will forgive my curiosity, monsieur, in wishing to see so celebrated an invalid as yourself. Your widespread reputation may, I hope, excuse the liberty I have taken.
I'm at your service, sir.
Oh, I see you are staring at me, monsieur. How old do you think I am?
I should think you wouldn't be more than 26, 27 at most.
I'm 92.
92? What? I am astonished.
Yes, that's one of the secrets of my practice. How to keep oneself young looking and vigorous.
Upon my word, but you are a young looking 92.
I travel. I go from place to place, province to province, and country to country, seeking opportunities for the exercise of my talents, patients worthy of my attention, cases which call for the profound discoveries I have made in the field of medicine.
I am very grateful to you for your kind consideration.
Oh, schming. Let us have your pulse.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now. Come on now, beat properly. Dico! Ha ha! This pulse is trying to be impertinent. I'll put you in order. I can see it doesn't know me yet. Who's your doctor?
Dr. Burgoyne.
Who?
Dr. Burgoyne?
Dr. Burgoyne, well, he's not on my list of great physicians. What does he say is wrong with you?
He says it's my liver.
What?
Others say it's my spleen.
They are all ignoramuses. Your lungs are the trouble.
My lungs?
Oh, no doubt about it. What are your symptoms?
I have headaches from time to time.
Exactly. Lungs.
And other times I have pain in my groin.
Oh, lungs.
And other times I'm stiff in the legs.
Lungs.
And sometimes I seem to have a kind of mist before my eyes.
Oh, lungs. Have you appetite for your food?
Yes, doctor.
Well, lungs again. Sleepy after a meal? Feel you want a little nap?
Yes, doctor.
Oh, lungs, I assure you. What diet does your doctor prescribe?
He says I can have unsalted beef broth.
Oh, the ignorance.
Powdered kelp.
Oh, ignorance.
And a few prunes in the evening as a sedative.
Ignorantus, ignoranta, ignorantum. You've been given lousy advice. Too much water, not enough wine. To strengthen your blood, which is too thin, you need to eat good prime beef, fresh fish, plenty of good Dutch cheese, some rice puddings, chestnuts, a little pasta once in a while to make your blood thicken and glutinate. Your doctor's an ass. I'll look in on you myself from time to time when I'm in town.
I shall be very much obliged to you.
What the devil are you doing with this arm?
My arm? What do you mean?
Well, I'd have that arm off right away if I were you.
Why?
Well, don't you see how it takes all the nourishment and prevents the other one from growing?
But I need my arm.
Well, and I should have that right eye out too if I were in your place.
Oh, my eye?
Well, don't you see how bad it is for the other one? Well, now take my advice. Have it out as soon as you can. You'll see a lot better with the left.
There's no hurry.
Well, it's up to you. Well, goodbye. Sorry to leave you so soon, but I must be at a consult with a man who died yesterday.
A man who died yesterday?
Well, yes, I am his only hope of getting better. Till we meet again.
You'll excuse me, am I not showing you to the door?
He seems to be a pretty clever sort of doctor.
Yes, but he's a bit in too much of a hurry for me.
Great physicians are all like that.
Wanting to cut one arm and take out an eye so that the other would get along better. I had much rather they didn't get on so well.
Be off with you. That sort of thing doesn't amuse me. Thank you very much.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, that doctor of yours, he was wanting to feel my pulse.
Did you ever? At 92.
Well, brother, since your friend Burgoyne has torn up the marriage contract, won't you let me talk to you about the young man who's a suitor for my niece?
No, I mean to put her into a convent, and she won't do what I want. I can see well enough that there's an intrigue afoot. I found out about a certain clandestine meeting she thinks I don't know about.
Well, brother, if she has a little inclination for someone, what's wrong with that?
No, I made up my mind.
There's one person who'll be pleased.
You keep coming back to my wife.
I can no more bear your infatuation with her than I can your obsession with doctors. I can't stand by and see you walk straight into every trap that's set for you.
Now, master, don't talk like that about the mistress. No one can say a word against her. She loves the master. Loves him so much. Words can't describe how much she loves him.
Ask her how fond she is of me.
It's quite true.
How worried she is by my illness.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Oh, what care, what troubles she bestows on me.
Oh, that's certain. Would you like me to prove to you just how much she loves him? Master, let me show him how little he knows.
How?
Well, the mistress is just coming in. Get in that chair and pretend to be dead.
Yeah.
Dead?
Well, you see how she'll grieve when I tell her the news.
All right, I'm willing.
Well, don't keep her in a state of despair for too long. It might kill her.
Leave it to me.
You hide.
Suppose there's no risk in pretending to be dead.
Oh, no. What danger could there be? Just stretch yourself out. It'll be a pleasure to show your brother how wrong he is. Oh, here comes the mistress. Keep still. Oh my God. Oh, it's terrible. What a dreadful thing to happen.
What is it, Toinette?
Oh, mistress.
What's happened?
Your husband is dead.
My husband is dead?
Alas, yes. The poor soul has passed on.
Are you sure?
Oh, quite sure. I was all by myself. He just expired in my arms.
Heavens be praised for that. Oh my, what a relief. Oh, don't be so silly, Toinette. What are you even crying for?
Seemed the appropriate thing to do.
Go on. It's nothing to worry about. I mean, who's gonna miss him? What use was he anyhow? He was a nuisance to everybody. Dirty, disgusting, always wanting another enema or another dose of medicine. Forever sniveling, coughing, spitting, dull, boring, bad-tempered, tiresome to everybody, and grumbling at the servants at all hours a day and night.
A nice funeral oration, I must say.
You must help me, Toinette. You can count on me to see that you are rewarded. Luckily, no one knows what has happened, so we'll keep his death quiet until I've finished a few business matters. There are papers and money I want to get a hold of. I've given him the best years of my life, and I deserve some reward. I mean, come along, Toinette, right?
So, this is how you love me?
Wait, he's not dead?
See how much you love me and hear your moving eulogy.
Well, brother, you see how it is.
My goodness, I would never have believed it.
I shall be wiser in the future.
Father.
Get back where you were and see how she'll take the news of your death. While you're at it, you might as well learn what your whole family thinks about you, right? Oh, Master, what a dreadful thing to have happened. Oh, heavens.
What's the matter, Toinette? Why are you crying?
Alas, I have sad news to tell you.
What is it?
Your father is dead.
My father is...
Yes. He just had a fainting spell and expired.
Father! My dear father! You were all the world to me, and now I have lost you. But oh, Toinette, to lose him at a time when he was so angry with me. What will become of me? What consolation can I find for such a loss?
What's the matter, my dear Angelique? Why are you weeping?
Alas, I weep for the dearest, most precious thing I have to lose. I weep for my father's
death.
Alas, I had implored your aunt to speak to him on my behalf, and I was just coming myself to endeavor by my own prayers to persuade him to give me your hand.
Oh, Cléante, no more of that. We must give up all thought of marriage. I have no more longing for the world now that I have lost my father. I renounce it forever. Yes, Father, if I opposed your wishes before I comply with them now, make amends for the grief which I have caused you. Let me be you my promise now, Father. Forgive me, please. Now let this kiss be a token of repentance. Oh, my child. Oh. Come, don't be frightened. I'm not dead. Father, you're alive. What a relief. Since heaven it is in goodness restores to me. Let me now throw myself at your feet and implore your favor. If you can't approve my heart's desire, you can't give me to Cléante for a husband. Don't. I beg you, force me to marry another. That's all I ask of you.
Monsieur, let her prayers and mine move you. I beg you not to oppose our mutual inclinations.
Brother, can you have the heart to refuse?
Master, how can you resist such affection?
Let him become a doctor, and I'll consent to the marriage. Yes, become a doctor, and I'll give you my daughter.
Willingly, monsieur. If that's all that's needed to become your son-in-law, I'll turn doctor. Even apothecary, if you like. That's no great matter. I'd do far more than that to win my fair Angélique.
An idea occurs to me, brother. Why not turn doctor yourself? Just think how convenient it would be. You could write your own prescriptions.
That's true. What disease could have the audacity to attack the doctor himself?
I think you're making fun of me, brother. I'm too old to start studying medicine.
Study? You know enough about it already. There are lots of them who know far less than you do.
That's true.
But you need to know Latin, diagnose all the diseases, and know the remedies.
Once you put on the cap and gown of a doctor, you'll find you have all the skill that's required.
Oh, you mean you can discourse on diseases once you put on the cap and gown?
That's it. Once you have the uniform of an expert, all you need do is open your mouth. Whatever nonsense you speak will become wisdom, and all the rubbish, good sense. Let me arrange it right away.
Right away? How do you mean?
Here and now. In your own house.
In my own house?
Yes. I have a number of friends in the faculty who will come at once and perform the ceremony here, and it won't cost you a thing.
What shall I have to say? What answer shall I give?
I'll give you a paper with what you have to say on it. Go, get yourself dressed while I send for them.
All right, then. Let's try it.
What are you talking about? What's all this about your friends in the faculty?
What have you got in mind?
Just something to amuse us this evening. The ceremony for conferring a doctor's degree. A little burlesque with music and dances. I want us all to take part, and my brother shall play the leading role.
Seems rather to me, Uncle, you are making fun of Father.
No. It's not so much making fun of him as it is fulfilling his fantasies. And why not? It's all in the family. We can each take a part. It'll be fun. After all, it's carnival time. Come, Toinette, let's get things ready.
All right.
Do you agree?
I suppose so, since it's Uncle's idea. Since it is carnival time.
All right, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our reading of The Imaginary Invalid. And we will be back next week with a new reading.